It began with a phone call, a terrified young lady begging for her life. Then, silence. Her name was Shannan Gilbert. But when police searched for her, they didn't find one body, they found 4. And that was just the beginning. A stretch of sand hiding a serial killer's secret, for over a decade. This is the story of the Gilgo Beach Murders, one of the darkest mysteries in American history. Shannan Gilbert was a 24-year-old online escort from New Jersey. That night, she had gone to meet a client in a gated Long Island community called Oak Beach. But something went horribly wrong. At 4:51 a.m., Shannan made a frantic 911 call. "They're trying to kill me. Help me." The call lasted 23 minutes. She knocked on doors. She ran through the neighborhood barefoot, confused, afraid. Then, she vanished. Police believed it was just another case of a sex worker having a mental breakdown. They didn't search right away. In fact, it would take 7 months before a Suffolk County officer, searching the area with a cadaver dog, stumbled upon a set of human remains, just off Ocean Parkway, near Gilgo Beach. But it wasn't Shannan. It was someone else. A young woman. Wrapped tightly in burlap, left like garbage on the edge of the sand. 3 days later, they found another body. Then another. And another. 4 women. All in their 20s. All missing for years. All escorts. All wrapped in the same burlap sack. And all found within a quarter mile of each other. Suddenly, what was once a missing person case exploded into something far darker. A serial killer was hunting women along the New York coastline, and had been for years. The media pounced. Locals were horrified. Who had done this? And how had they gotten away with it for so long? The beach was sealed off. Investigators combed through the marshes, the sand, and the brush. But as they searched for clues, they kept finding more remains. A total of 11 bodies would eventually be uncovered in the area. But here's the terrifying part, not all of them fit the same profile. There was a toddler. A man. A woman missing her hands. A torso found miles away years earlier, now possibly linked. Was this the work of one killer? Or several? And where was Shannan Gilbert? Her case, ironically the one that started it all, was still unsolved. And no one could have guessed that the man behind it all might be hiding in plain sight, just down the road. The discovery of those 4 women, Megan Waterman, Maureen Brainerd Barnes, Amber Lynn Costello, and Melissa Barthelemy, sent shockwaves across Long Island. The killer had clearly followed a method. He targeted young, petite sex workers who advertised on Craigslist. Each was strangled, then wrapped in burlap and dumped within a short stretch of beach. As pressure mounted, more horrifying finds emerged. Police discovered 7 more sets of remains in the surrounding area, some in pieces, some long decomposed. Among them, a female toddler. An unidentified Asian male dressed in women's clothing. Partial remains that matched a torso found on Fire Island in 1996. Victims with missing skulls or hands, suggesting a killer trying to erase their identity. Theories flooded in. Was this the work of one serial killer with changing patterns? Are 2 killers dumping bodies in the same location? Could it be a human trafficking ring, or even a Long Island cop covering their tracks? Suspicion swirled. Locals looked at each other differently. And then came the controversy over Shannan Gilbert. In December 2011, to 18 months after she vanished, her remains were finally found. But not near the others. Her body lay in a marsh over half a mile away, shoes off, belongings scattered. Police declared her death an accident. They claimed she ran into the marsh and drowned in panic. But her family didn't buy it. Shannan's mother, Mari Gilbert, fought to have her death investigated as murder. She hired a private pathologist, who suggested signs of strangulation. The police insisted it wasn't related to the other murders. But the public had doubts. Why would Shannan flee for 23 minutes in terror if she wasn't running from something? Or someone? Still, the investigation slowed. No suspects. No arrests. And years passed. The Gilgo Beach killer, or killers, remained a ghost. lurking just out of reach. Until 2022. More than a decade after the first discovery, a newly formed Gilgo Beach task force quietly reopened the case in 2022. They had something the original investigators didn't: modern DNA tools, digital forensics, and fresh eyes. They focused on the first 4 women found, believed to be victims of a single killer due to the matching MO. One name started rising to the top: Rex Heuermann. A 59-year-old architect. Married. 2 kids. He lived in Massapequa Park, just 18 miles from Gilgo Beach. Using cell phone records, burner phone data, and even taunting calls made to one victim's family, they tied multiple threads back to him. But they needed DNA. That's when they watched Rex throw out a pizza crust. Detectives grabbed it from the trash and sent it to the lab. The DNA matched a hair found on one of the burlap-wrapped bodies. On July 13, 2023, Rex Heuermann was arrested outside his Manhattan office. The news exploded. Inside his home, police found a hidden stash of burner phones, fake IDs, and chilling internet searches. Questions like, why hasn't the Gilgo Beach killer been caught? What does a dismembered body smell like? Best place to dump a body? He had even looked up the victims' families and autopsy photos. Heuermann was charged with the murders of 3 women: Melissa, Megan, and Amber. Maureen's case remains under investigation. People who knew him were stunned. A quiet, awkward man. A family guy. A successful businessman. But allegedly, also a sadistic predator who had managed to live undetected in plain sight. For the families, the arrest of Rex Heuermann was both a relief and a painful reminder of what they lost. They had waited over 13 years for justice. And while one man was now behind bars, the questions hadn't stopped. What about the other 7 victims? What about Shannan Gilbert? Was Heuermann responsible for all of them, or just the ones with the burlap signature? Some experts believe there could still be another killer. Others argue Rex escalated and changed his methods. Even today, parts of the beach remain eerily quiet, still holding secrets. The house where Rex lived sits in shadows, its walls reportedly lined with soundproof rooms. His family claimed they had no idea. His daughter and wife are not suspects, but their lives will never be the same. As of now, Rex Heuermann pleads not guilty. But the evidence against him continues to grow. The Gilgo Beach case, once a cold trail buried in sand and silence, has become one of the most shocking serial killer cases in modern American history. And yet, the beach still whispers. Because not every soul has been accounted for. And not every monster wears a mask.